Alright, chat, prepare the weird pants. Hi, my name is KevKild's. Today I'm going to be going over a lot of my builds. It needs a bit of a cleanup. Who I am is a Payday 2 DSOD junkie, as a lot of people like to call me by. I don't do a lot of crime spree. I sometimes play casually for all them fancy achievements. And yeah, so why do I do this? Because, well, obviously, I want to get better. I don't want to rely on RNG Rogue or some terrible playstyle, and I like to not only educate, but to help other people in the chat and a bunch of other folks that actually take the time to find other folks and try to find other builds and other crazy stuff, as opposed to just relying on one single source and thinking he's the truth of all things. So I streamed basically to get good and to help everybody out, because there's a lot of shit in this game, and there's a lot of swearing from me, and a lot of weeb stuff in the background, so we'll get to there in a bit. My personal playstyle is more on the hyper carry, hyper aggressive style, and I like to be more on the frontline aggressive. I do have some passive playstyle builds, hopefully you guys can work with, but I will say this, a disclaimer, I am open to criticize and critique, you know, simple CNC. That's how we improve, that's how we get better. Instead of shaking your head left and right, no. We always like advice, we always like going for stuff that is, you know, trying something different is always better for you. Maybe worse, doesn't hurt to try. But at the end of the day, builds are like waifus, yours is trash and mine are better. So anyways, like I said, everybody plays differently, some will work, some will not, but if you guys get some quick learnings out of this, awesome. One thing I will say across my builds is that I maintain Inspire, maintain 9 lives, because I want to make sure that it's good for the general public use. I don't play a lot of Berserker because I'll get to that in a bit, and yeah. Furthermore, most of my content is videos that I'm starting to upload onto YouTube because, well, Twitch links is terrible for YouTube video searching, blah blah blah, it's not great. And those videos are directly from the stream, so whatever shenanigans I say, you guys see, even the stream overlay, I honest to God don't give a shit. So anyways, it's not the most professional, I like being upfront and casual about it, always getting the job done. So anyways, enough blabbing on about the intro. What I like to do is get started. So a lot of people come to me and what is like the primary thing that KevKild's does? Well, I've been intrigued with CrewChief, and that's the build we're going to start with, because in today's video, I have to clean all this shit up in my Steam profile build page. This is too messy. We need to condense this. We're making a guide. And I'm going to be going over all the stuff in this. I do have one missing here. It's an armor build. It's okay. I'll get to it. Like I said, there's passive playstyles. You can find my Steam profile. It's public. I don't give a shit. You can join me when there's public games. People have done it in the past. It's just my name up there with the amazing Nisa waifu face. Cool. Awesome. Back to CrewChief. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, why play CrewChief? Well, it has huge buffs to your team. I'd say it's one of the top 5 decks in the game. Damage reduction for yourself and your team. Increased shout distance and stamina. And stamina for your team. Health for you and your team. Armor for you and your team. And even more health and damage reduction for your team. The best support deck is right here, and yes, this shit is so DSOD viable. I've been able to solo stuff with this current build. That's right, I've done Panic Room. Sure, it took 44 fucking minutes, but guess what? CrewChief is a hard carry. It's just armor without the 2 seconds, and if you play smart, you can support your team, and if your team is doing happy tanking and spanking the enemies, you can just play objectives all day long, and that's what I do CrewChief. So anyways, ICTV armor at the start. I run it with first aid kits because I rarely go down, and you have such a high HP pool. Sure, it says 276, but if you have 2 jokers or 4 civvies, explain the jokers in a bit, you'll get up to 400 HP. That's as much as Kingpin. Holy crap! So I like first aid kits. You can plant them near objectives and save a team or around corners because bullshit AI likes to hit through walls. So let's get to the weapons. As you can see, a very lewd cat face. You might see that a couple times. Again, I'm not a weeb, chat. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, chat. So, Thanatos. Whatever skin, what I like is the Tank Buster Barrel. Why? 100 accuracy. This thing will guarantee a delivering blow at any range. Goat Simulator snipers are no match against this guy. Yeah, it's overkill with the 3,000 some damage. It's fine. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. This is meant for dozer melting, cloaker finishing, medic. We hate medics, and I'll tell you why, because they don't get stunned with fire, or any other special that you just want to kill them. Put some extra ammo boost on. Get the lead combo because we love flashlights, and a bit more stability. Whatever grip tickles you fancy, honestly. I could probably put more for stability and go from there. Ah, yeah, that looks nice. And whatever sight you like. I do like sniping in video games, and I do love sniping in this game, especially that grayscale, but we're not running grays with this. So I like to have .1 because I want that fine, precise shot. I don't know why I had .2 in the way, but there you go. So, primarily what you're going to be doing with CrewChief is, well, I like to call it my favorite pink shotty. This is what carried me through that panic room of 44-minute solo with CrewChief. Dragon Breath rounds. These are... A lot of people would say this is a cheap way to play, but who gives a shit? Again, everybody plays different. Don't worry about it. Your waifu is trash. This is what creates the crowd control, hence CrewChief. Yeah, it's like CC plus CC. Here you go. Put that shark tooth nozzle for that minus accuracy, because minus accuracy for shotguns is really, really well... Makes a nice spread. And at longer distances, you get that nice spread and you can tag 3 to 4 enemies on fire. It's beautiful. I put a team boost because I'm a team player. Auto fire for that stability. You don't really need this. Lead combo again. I love those lead combos. Oh, they're so good. Some extra bullets. Whatever sight makes it look cool. And I like the compact hollow sight because it looks, I don't know, big and bold. Concussion grenades. These are always good for objectives. Again, I'm an aggressive player. I need to pop one of these, run over. Buzzer so you don't get cloaked and you don't lose all your wonderful HP that you got. Go over the skills. Yes, I run first aid kits with this like I said. I can jump off roofs, put them near objectives, players get facked, because then they don't fack and die. Wow! It's like it works, like a team build. Hostage taker. If you take a light or one heavy, maybe you can heal that up. But if you take too much damage, you can pop your own fack. I'm sure you'll be fine. 2 jokers are a must for CrewChief. Don't even think about it. Partners in Crime Days is such a good skill. Not only you get movement speed, but you get 30% health increase. Like I said, you can get up to 400 HP if you have 2 jokers and 2 civvies, or 1 joker and 3 civvies. Because that's how CrewChief works. You need at least 2 dominated cops and 2 jokers on your side, or 3 civvies or 1 joker. Joker A, so you can get those dominated cops much quicker. This is very nice to have. Enforcer. 1 point underdog, this is a spare. Resilience to ace, because I can't stress this enough in my chat. They tell me, don't look at the flashbangs, but please, fucking, you run around a corner, you're gonna get hit. Transporter's good. Good for team-based objectives. You can run this on, like, casual difficulties, I don't care. Diehard's also good, it makes sense with the FAC. Shotgun off for yourself and the rest, and I mean, like, it's your standard ICTV setup. Again, I'm not going to go in full detail. Scavenger's great. I'll explain why more in offensive builds once I get to my Anarchist setup. I bring drill skills for my CrewChief setup. Yes, I do. So, this is fundamentally pretty good. I don't think you need the auto starters. I don't think it's worth it for the amount of points. However, you could probably run this without drill skills if you're feeling selfish and you want to have, say, if you want to move some points around for Stockhold Syndrome, just in case you're really bad, but honestly, drill skills make a lot of heists just, oh, so nice. Moving on, parkour is needed for the heavier armor sets, such as CTV or ICTV. If I run lightweight ballistics vest or suit, I don't generally run this. And like I said, you get 10% additional movement speed. You also get 10% additional movement speed from your jokers. Keep that in mind. That's why you don't need parkour on the lighter armor setups. High value target. This is good for the snipers, and it's good for your team. This allows you to 3-shot a dozer at close or any range. That's what the Thanatos is used for. It's used for hitting the first visor, and sometimes your jokers can hit that first visor. Hit the second visor, he's low HP, your team can finish him off, or you can finish him off. A lot of players also run judge or explosive shots, so that's why the Thanatos comes in handy to deliver the final blow. And since you have high value target, it's nice to remind your team how to play the game. 9 lives ace because, like I said, I don't recommend Swan Song. I don't recommend Feign Death on a lot of my builds. However, 9 lives is still a staple for general public use, and that's why I'm keeping it there. Anyways, that's just the gist of Crew Chief. Now, I know a lot of people came to me and like, I don't want to run heavy armor. Well, like I said in my builds that we're going over, I have a DPS setup, and it's lazy, I get it, but you know what? You can take these 2 weapons, apply it to any build, and you're fine. So let's go over that. So what I call is CrewChief DPS. I have a lightweight ballistics vest. I'll explain breakpoints in a moment. And there's 55 armor. It might get a bit confusing, but again, CrewChief also benefits you. Akimbo Goliath. Now, if you want to say fuck you to the enemy's face, however you want, this is how you do it. Triple buckshot on this guy. Short barrel for that added concealment for crits. DHLs. These are so important in shotguns. If you're not running them, you're probably doing it wrong. These allow for wave clears or any hallway cleanups, which makes things really good. Concealment boost, and of course your laser, because everybody loves lasers. Oh yeah. Judge Shotgun. I even had enough to put this fancy little attachment on, but the utility of all judges is HE rounds or Dragon Breath rounds. But since we don't have a lot of crits, we're not playing with Unseen Strike here, so we'll keep it at the HEs. King's Crown Compensator for added accuracy. I know it's a bit backwards from shotguns, but again, you want to make sure you hit the dozer or sniper with some accuracy of this damn thing. And I even equipped an accuracy boost. Laser, and whatever else tickles you fancy. Now, same perk deck, whatever. So, I know there's a lot of confusion that people are like, quick fix is better because you can deploy a doctor bag and you take 10% less damage, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's not worth it in the long run, honestly. And from testing that I've done with painkillers, and with the damage reduction stacking from Combat Medic, the way damage reduction works is based on delimiting returns. Now, if you do the math with simplicity, 50 plus 30 is 80 plus another 30, you would think that's 110. No. If you had Wolf Hunt or Vanilla Hunt Plus, it would actually be 86%. And if you do the math correctly, it's just above 31.5 damage. Now, where am I getting these numbers from? The key thing to remember here, chat, is 225 is your always wrap the number 225 around your head. Because that's what the Zeal heavy units do in DSOD difficulties. So, why is painkillers good? What if my team's rogue? Well, if your team is rogue, they're not benefiting from painkillers. And maybe quick fix is probably a good idea so they can deploy doctor bags faster to die faster. Ugh. Painkillers is better for armor type setups, or any tankier setup with more than 70 armor. So that would include Anarchist, my Kingpin setup, which a lot of people play, Stoic, Armor, and even CrewChief. Moving on, just like a CrewChief build, Hostage Taker, Partners in Crime, and, 2 Jokers. Here's all your overkill shotgun stuff. Again, you don't really need shotgun impact A's for the Akimbo Goliath, but we want to make sure those specials die, especially those dozers. All the team supporty stuff, just in case you need to do objectives. Die Hard's really nice. You got all that HP. May as well use it. just in case you need to take your own doctor bag or play the objective. Scavenger, again, I'm an aggressive player. I like picking ammo through the corners and floors and stuff like that. Give a good example, such as Panic Room. The roof? You can actually grab it from the floor below. All the ammo. You don't even have to run outside and die. Cool little tip. I need a drink here. Holy shit. Alright, so 1-point drill skills. I fundamentally think this is important in a lot of builds. Because that 2.5 second save, just in case you need to repair the stupid drill outside on Hoxton Breakout Day 1, which I have done successfully on a CrewChief build. This will save you. Inner Pockets Ace, this is good for the concealment factor, so we can make sure we get low blow Ace. This is where we get crits. If you're 25 detection or under with low blow Ace, you can get up to 30% crit chance. So, the key numbers are always 23. You'll never see 24 or 25 based on the game's coding. Not a big deal. But if you just remember 23 or under, you're good to go. And that's how we can nail a 30% crit. Very handy. If you're not running crits in DSOD builds, probably not going to be efficient. Last but not least, 9 lives again. So, I mentioned breakpoints. However, with CrewChief, typically, in a non-CrewChief setup, you want to aim for 70 armor. Why 70 armor? Because a lot of shields or medics or cloakers like to hit you for around, was it 65 or 60 damage, somewhere around there? It's not 70. So you can take another hit, effectively saving all your HP. But why not 70? I'll tell you why. Because if you have a Joker, a hostage, and if something is targeting you, wherever it is, there it is. If you're in range of a medium enemy, receive 6% less damage. That's minus 22%. Minus 22% from a medic, shield, or cloaker, you can tank another hit. So that's why I don't opt for the Die Hard Ace, which I'll explain in my Kingpin build later. So, like I said, I like running CrewChief. It's very good and it's very easy. You just sit back, let your team have fun. You have a DPS build here, or you have a tanky, that's a scary mask, set up here. I much more recommend it with an ICTV setup because that allows you to tank 2 heavy zeal slots. Again, 225 is that key magic number, and we're above that number. So there you go. So, I'm going to jump into Kingpin here because I have a lot of Anarchist setups. So the next one we got on our plate is our Kingpin Shotgun. Again, you can play however you want to play. This is how I find it efficiently. I have videos on all the stuff, and I will be posting it in the guides when I get so. Lightweight ballistic vest with 70 armor, Dr. Bags, buzzer, fancy injector, and let's go over the weapons again. So I run the M1014 because it sounds amazing with mods. Triple buckshot, long barrel because you want the magazine shots, believe me. DHLs again, concealment, laser, don't need a sight, and a collapse stock. Here's your utility judge. It's silenced. We'll go over that in a sec. But again, we have the HE rounds. This is meant for dozer melting, and everything else is about the same. And I'm running Kingpin with the setup, which is really good for objective pushing, or if you just need to take aggro off your team while they run out into the open because they love playing rogue. I don't know why, but let's get on with it. So again, we got a standard Inspire tree. And I do recommend Kingpin with Hostage Taker because just in case you get hit too much and you couldn't recover health from a tiny little piece of armor from the way Kingpin works, please do not explode yourself. You can actually regen a lot of your HP back. I know it doesn't... Does it say it in the description? Let me see here. That's just killing... I thought there was a way that it actually showed it. Okay. Apparently, if you have any armor and you take damage, you actually get that damage in health. So if you armor gate correctly, which is good practice with Anarchist, you can actually get your health back much easier. Really skilled Kingpin players probably don't even need that, but I still wholeheartedly recommend a Joker because that 30% HP increase from 414 is plus 69. Nice number, by the way. Moving on. I do run this setup. You could run it with an Ishma if you're uncomfortable with the one barrel or one bullet reloading, one shell, whatever. But for an M1014 setup, I run these two A's close by because hipfire is important. Standard overkill. Here's that diehard A's. Bullseye is important for that armor gating. There's the drill point I mentioned. And here's all the lovely crits to make it happen. So if you get hit, get into cover, reload your gun, get settled in, wait 4 seconds. If you wait the 4 seconds, you can easily check with Wolf HUD or Vanilla HUD Plus XYZ. You get 35 plus your low blow that I mentioned with 30%. That's 65% crits for at least 6 seconds. You can melt dozers pretty freaking quickly if you're half decently lucky, and believe me, I'm not lucky, and this unseen strike is nice. Optical illusions Ace, this allows more concealment if you have a silenced weapon. That's how we're able to hit that standard 23 detection risk. So, moving on. I'm going to get to the hacker stuff because I'm going to keep the Anarchist probably all last because I'm an Anarchist main with CrewChief, blah, blah, blah. Let's get going. But for those that are watching, CrewChief is a really good perk deck. Kingpin is also, it takes a lot of time. I definitely will say don't feel bad at sucking first. I used to be shit with Kingpin. I used to be worse with Rogue, but we're not going there. We don't play Rogue. So if anybody that wants to get into DSOD, here's an easy setup. I recommend this to the bottom of my heart that people want to actually get those nasty, stupid DSOD achievements done. Stoic. Why Stoic? Well, it's the most overpowered perk deck possible. And with this setup, I put a little bit of difficulty for myself, and I'll explain why in a bit. So, how does Stoic work? Well, you have no armor and everything's turned to health. So that means more armor you have, the more health you got. How I like to run it, obviously, you want first aid kits. Without a question. If you can do it with Dr. Bags, cool. But I don't recommend it for starters. For the weapon, I like to use an LMG. LMGs are pretty easy and ammo efficient. I do run that in 2 of my other builds that we'll go over in a bit. Long barrel. Bigger, better suppressor, because we don't care about concealment. Again, you're holding shit tons of armor. I'll get to that in a moment. Bipod's really good. Put it on. I opt for stability. I don't like rail foregrip. The extra 2 damage is not worth the stability. Lead combo. And of course, solid stock. I don't run those chintzy sight mods that add more stability. Again, I'm not a cheater. I like to teach you guys and educate how to play right. Compact launcher. This is good for shield melting or crowd control or just whatever. I don't use a lot of launchers, but I know a lot of, individuals do. Look at that nice shiny explosion there. Please don't change this. Have a buzzer or, in case people don't have fancy DLC, electrical bass knuckles. Again, whatever suits you fancy. We've been over this. Standard left tree for uppers and spire. Hostage taker, you will want this. 2 jokers just to keep heat off of you. And, again, more HP is more HP. I run Iron Man basic. I don't run ICTV. I don't need that. I don't think I need that. The perk deck's strong enough. We don't need that. And here's Die Hard Ace again. Increasing the armor of all ballistics vests by 20. Just like my Kingpin build, I can get more armor. However, if you want to run a shotgun or assault rifle with this setup, I recommend lightweight ballistics because of the crits. If you really want to go tanky, like I said, you can flash this and you can see that your health increases because you have Stoic equipped. But your speed and stamina go down pretty bad. If you really want to go tanky with this setup, I'd recommend a heavy ballistics vest. That 321 to 347 is quite a big. But if you really want to invest the points, you can really go for ICTV and bam, that's a lot of HP. And for the love of God, please don't play Suit Stoic. Look at this. These numbers are pitiful. My grandma could do better. Back at the build. I like Transporter Ace. Gets me up to Iron Man. Bullseye, yes, it's really good for every other build except Stoic, because you don't get any armor from this, so you don't need that unless you forgot to fully upgrade Stoic. But we're gonna assume you max the perk deck out for its full functionality. Scavenger is good. Now, I'm gonna stress this, chat. I like body expertise ace. Could run it basic, or you not at all. But I'm an aggressive player that likes to push and punch the enemy lines. And I don't have time with stupid wicked fast AI with stupid wicked fast computers to deal with enemies shooting me really quickly. Yes, this sucks against dozers because you're not benefiting anything from it. However, you got Stoic, you can tank a few shots from a dozer and you'll be fine. This allows for a lot of killing. You could play without it. And I would recommend not putting body expertise on rifles with better accuracy and control. However, with LMGs, you can actually farm ammo for your team. And I do like this setup. Again, builds are like waifus. Yours are different. Play how you want. But I recommend trying this first. But if you want to spend the points elsewhere and maybe get more tank or that kind of thing, I don't know. I like killing. I like making space for the team. I like making pushes for objectives. This is why I put it on. And unfortunately, I don't have enough points for Hardware Expert. If you really want, you could move Scavenger over, but I'm aggressive. However you want to play it. Duck and cover, because again, I don't think you need parkour for a lot of suit or lightweight ballistics vest builds. It's fine. Trust me, take it off. It'll save you 2 points. You'll be fine, chat. Professional Ace. This is what makes your LMG great. Gives you all that added accuracy and all that stability. Because if I take this off, you can actually dynamically see 68 and 80. If I put it back on, you can actually see the points go from 80 to 88. I'd say that's pretty good. Sure, you got a bipod, but there's not a lot of times you have to deploy a bipod. Like I said, 9 lives. I don't believe in Swan Song. I don't believe in Feign Death, because why put points into those if you're 80% standing and shooting? If you're not 20% death? If that makes sense, chat? I don't know. If you play for a 10-minute match and if you're alive for 9 minutes, why invest into this? It's dumb. The idea is to never die with Stoic. And I do have a way how to play Stoic. So I'll be linking that below. I'm not going to go over how to play again. I don't have time for that in this video. Just want to go over as much as I can of the builds because, like I said, we got to get through the rest of this. And so we're going to move on to Hacker. Hacker's really good. And no, please do not be an actual hacker. No. So again, I got Hacker this time. So the way Hacker works is, you know what? I'll get to this in a bit. I did mention Rogue a couple times in the chat. And so I know there's a lot of people that just jump to Rogue and say it's the best thing in the world. Please don't. And if you do, please look for alternatives. Please learn something else. Please try. Again, you play how you want, but Rogue effectively hurts your team because of this skill here. 3-9 hurts your team. I have killed so many teammates, me sitting right beside my allies because of the skill here. Because I wasn't able to get a Joker, or they weren't able to get a Joker to take heat off of ourselves. This thing is so bad, it's a selfish perk deck. Yes, I understand you get all this crazy amount of dodge and this weapon swapping speed. Okay, you know what? Stress it on me. I'm an adult, I don't give a shit. However, this is a team-based game. And I don't think hurting your team is a good idea. So, why Hacker? Hacker is at the very bottom. It has a pocket ECM effect. And for you stealth maniacs out there that accidentally turn the mission loud and hit your ECM, it'll make a map-wide stun. However, the pocket ECM is a little AoE stun around you. And yes, it can also stun dozers. Meaning, you have all that time for yourself and your team. You get a bit of health. Killing an enemy will give you health. Wow! Killing an enemy will grant dodge. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Also, your teammates benefit from this. Very good team praise perk deck, by the way. Unfortunately, I don't play Berserker on a lot of my aggressive builds. And this is why. Because, well, the joke is Berserker Lives Matters. However, Hacker gives HP, which is also good for Stoic players, Kingpin players, CrewChief, XYZ. You start off with a base dodge of 30. I have Sneaky Bastard in the setup because I know a lot of you Rogue players that love Rogue. Again, it's a small transition build. Don't take any offense. Just try something new and you will like it. So, you kill an enemy, you gain 20 dodge for 30 seconds. So if you maintain your kills, you can effectively have more dodge than Rogue the entire time. That's right, Hacker has more dodge than Rogue. You heard me correctly, and every other professional says this too. That's right, 75 dodge while sprinting. We'll get to that. Suit, because if you turn up the armor, you will lose more dodge. Keep that in mind because I know crits and dodge are a little confusing. I'm not sure why I was circling concealment. There we go. Dodge 35, dodge 45. So, for your rogue mains out there, here you go. Here's your lovely shotgun that we all love and hate. Choose your favorite skin, the Ishma 12, triple buckshot, short barrel. Don't need attachments because we're trying to aim for the concealment. Would be nice to put the DHLs on, but don't worry about it. Apparently I don't have a concealment boost. The skin has team total ammo modifier. Not a big deal. Autofire. Don't need any other this fancy stuff. We got concealment there, laser, more concealment. Don't need that magazine. No sight. And here's our lovely skeletal stock. You know, the basic shit that you would expect from a rogue running Ishma Judge because it's easy and it's point efficient, it's cheap. Here's your utility, HE Judge. Nothing fancy. So here it is. Standard Inspire. You got Jokers for your team. Pretty good for Hacker. And Hacker also gives you a bit extra HP, which is also good for Partners in Crime days. And you have Hostage Taker just in case you get hit so you can heal up. Bit of stable shot for the shotties. Here's your shotgun setup we all know and love. I do shotgun impact basic for the Ishma so I can break point damage values for certain targets. Here's your bullseye, very helpful and handy. Resilience Day, Scavenger, Drill Skills, and here you go. Yeah, there it is. Sneaky Bastard. I know you could put a lot more points into crits, damage, or other utility, even high value target, but I know, like I said, for all the rogue players out there that want to step in a different, better direction, here you go. The exact same build, change your perk deck. Low blow basic, however, means that since you have a detection of 5 or under, you can maintain that 30% crit. And last but not least, I can't even talk, I've been going crazy on this. 9 lives. You don't need Swan Song, trust me. So if you want to play like such an easy, cheap, filthy rogue change, here you go. I full-heartedly recommend Hacker, then start spreading your wings and be a better player. So, back to the other Hacker build. If you want more damage, this is what I recommend. So we have the same LMG setup that I used in my Stoic build. You'll see this green LMG probably one more time. But yet, the same attachment, same stuff, not a big deal. Opt for stability because I feel that's more important. Here's your secondary. This is good for specials or dozer, close range quarters, blah blah blah. I don't have a utility such as HE Judge because we don't need that because we'll be running Shock and IA'd. So whatever skinned, bigger better suppressor, opt for more accuracy because I don't care about all this detection. It's like, why are you running such high detection with a dodge build? Well, if you do more killing with Hacker, you get more HP. Didn't you read the perk deck? Autofire, scope mount, again, you want to aim for that 100-100 because you have all this detection not to worry about, and away you go. Same perk deck. Inspire with Dr. Bags. Hostage Taker again. Shotgun IAs, so this helps us with the LMG to shoot shields, so we don't have to swap to an HE Judge or a Fire Judge or any other utility just to knock those little bastards out. Bullseye again, Scavenger. Body Expertise Ace again. I'm an aggressive player. You could probably take it off if you want to aim 20 meters away just to get a headshot. I don't recommend it. I'd rather just take a few body shots, kill it. I don't want to be wasting time in front of an enemy. Again, however you can play. Duck and cover aced, because I feel like 1 point's still good. Or, what the hell am I saying? Fuck, my brain's fucking wired. Duck and cover ace for the extra sprint dodge. Professional aced. And where's this 1 point going? Probably stable shot. I don't know why I had an extra point, but here you go. Same shit. Same shit, going over it again. And the 80-88 for the LMG. 100-100 for that. And if you make a lot of kills, you reduce the cooldown of your pocket ECM device, and you provide more healing for your team. So it's less dodge, but more healing. Pretty freaking sweet, but you still have all that sweet dodge you rogue players love to have. Awesome. Now moving on. I'm going to go over all my Anarchist setups. I do maintain 4 of them. So, you guys ready? I can keep doing this all day. So, let's get some more waifus in the chat. Dr. Bags, 2-piece suit setup. Now, there's a lot of discussion against Anarchist and what armor you should use. The way Anarchist works is that there's a constant tick timer on when that armor regenerates. Meaning, if you get hit, it could be any point in time that constant tick timer will be at a certain interval. There's 3 numbers you need to worry about here. Suit has 2 seconds, and then you gain a bit of armor. Lightweight Ballistics Vest has 3 seconds, you gain a bit more armor. ICTV has 10 seconds, trust me, we don't want that. Because when you armor gate, having constant armor be nice, because the way armor works in this game, if you take a 225 shot from a Zeal and you have 5 armor, guess what? You're fine. The only difference is a sniper. Oh well, we have HP for that, and I'll explain why in a bit. So at any given time you can get hit, that constant 2-second timer could be at 1.5, 1.5, or even at the full 2 seconds. But faster regeneration means you got more armor, you got more time to be super aggressive. The only contrary is, you got less armor. However, with Partners in Crime Ace, that extra 30% health gets added 69 health to this, your armor will surpass the 225 armor protection. It'll go up to 241. Meaning, you can tank a Zeal shot, tank another one, and you'd still be safe. So I highly, highly recommend playing Anarchist with Jokers. Highly. Jokers are very good in a lot of builds. So, moving on. Let's double check Anarchist. So like I said, all your HP is converted into armor. Any damage you do will grant you armor. Your suit will change into a 2-second constant tick timer for armor. And you also have Bullseye, so that's 3 different possibilities to armor gate. My go-to Anarchist build is with LMGs, because I got a lot more experience with it. For anyone starting into Anarchist, I highly recommend shotguns or fire grims. Fire grims, again, are really strong, or any fire-based weapons, because you can tick your armor with, what's it called, Lust for Life, 3 times with it. So, back at the LMGs, like I said, same LMG that we used before, I'll go over it really quickly. Again, I offer stability and accuracy, stability first. And here's that same SMG we use for Hacker. All the cool stuff. I go for 100-100 because I don't care about concealment. We don't have to worry about low blow crits. Not a big deal. Flashbangs, again, really important, because that not only stuns the enemies, but like the rest of this other utility is just not worth it. Like, you get 3 frags, 3 mollies, 3 dynamite, like, who gives a shit? Maybe this, but this is the best. Really good. So on to the skills. Inspire, right side tree for Dr. Bag's painkillers again. I explain why painkillers are better. They're better for more tankier setups such as armor, anarchist, that sort of thing. Quick fix, yes, you could deploy your Dr. Bags faster, but please, you're not dying 24/7 if you actually have a proper build with proper damage. I don't need Hostage Taker because you don't have more than 225 health, so what's the point if you get shot by Zeal? You're basically dead. So we don't need Hostage Taker. But I still recommend, and full-heartedly you should, get Jokers with Anarchist setup, because that extra health turns into armor, which means you can tank a bit more. Awesome! Now, moving on to the build. Die Hard, this helps you, eat doctor bags without taking too much damage or any other objective-based stuff. It does help just to proc your 2-second invincibility armor after anything hits you on your last little bit of the objective, giving you that time to move into cover quickly. Shotgun IAs, because again, we're not dealing with the shields with utility because we got an LMG for that. There's that bullseye again. Scavenger. Again, I play aggressive, so body expertise ace. I know a lot of people are probably cringing right now, and it's like, holy shit, Kevin, why are you running body expertise? Why don't you just aim better? It's like, again, I want to be on top of that kill leaderboard. I want to make space for my team. I want to make ammo if they need it too, etc. I feel more value with this than not having it. And with Anarchist setups, you have a lot of points to spend because you don't need stuff such as Hostage Taker or Iron Man. You could run Iron Man Basic for a bit more armor. However, you don't want to go ICTV. Please fucking don't do ICTV. Please, no. Next tree, again, no parkour, just duck and cover. Duck and cover is good. I do right side tree because low blow will not benefit from 75 detection. However, for the LMG, we can have professional aced for all that stability and accuracy. High value target because we can ping snipers, put on the bipod or our 100 accurate submachine gun, and take him out. And Unseen Strike just for that little bit of extra crits because getting hit, reloading your LMG or SMG, you can melt a dozer in 1 second. Pretty sweet. There you go, 9 lives again. Awesome. So, on to the next one. So for those that want to get into Anarchist, because it sounds so awesome, you get to be the damage dealy, space-wide, shoot 'em up dude, I'd recommend putting fire into your setup. My nose is getting stuffed up, holy shit. Okay, I run with Ishma. You could run this with another shotgun, but again, I want to aim for that 23 crit detection risk, etc. It's a little bit different than the one we showed earlier because I popped on DHLs. So we got triple buckshot, short barrel, DHL, concealment, auto fire, auto handle, laser, or concealment. Don't need that Big Brother magazine because we got shotgun skills, no sight, and a skeletal stock. And here's our fire ground, nice and red, ready to deliver fiery justice. Dragon Breath round again. Yes, it says low damage, but all you need to do is tick a heavy twice, or if they get a fire tick that's a crit, especially with Unseen Strike and low blow aced, they can die very quickly. You could run this with a locomotive if you need more firepower. Get it? Firepower. But I like making ammo and I like making site-wide CC in space. And so, a Grim is a good choice. Shark Tooth Nozzle again for that reduced accuracy and better spread, as you saw in the Ishma, because you want to lower that accuracy as much as you can. 20 was the best I can get it. So going back to here, DV, Shark Tooth, Concealment, Auto Fire for that nice stability. Don't need that. Compact Laser, and other fancy stuff. So, doing the same stuff as the LMG. Same front tree, except for Stable Shot, because I don't think I need more stability. Again, Jokers are really, really, really good for Anarchists. Please don't ignore them. Please don't ignore them. Inspire. Here's your basic Ishma setup like I had in my Filthy Dodge build. I even have Shotgun Eye Aced again. Builds are all different. You can move the points elsewhere. Yes, I got fire to deal with shields. However, sometimes I'm just in the middle of a fight and like shields spawn out of nowhere and I want to knock them down because shield DPS is sometimes scary. That's fine. So, change it how you want, but this is how I recommend for starters. But nonetheless, here's your basic setup. You got Bullseye, you even got Transporter, Die Hard again. Drill Point. Look at all this lovely damage. So you got high value target for not only the snipers that you or your team might be able to take care of. I know you got shotguns and or no judge to take care of the sniper. However, some fire rounds can reach some snipers on the map, but you're not doing Goat Simulator sniping on this. Does help for dozers and other specials, and of course crits, just to maintain all that pressure in DPS. And again, 9 lives. Don't need to stress that over and over. So what's next on our setup? So for those that want to go up their game, and I do like sniping. Here we go. This is where I get into some of my solo stuff. Same setup with Anarchist because I believe in Suit. Suit is good. But this time we're sniping. And we're doing... This sniper setup is more in a crit-based focus setup. Because with Anarchist, it's hard to, quote-unquote, BLM yourself with Berserker. So we're going to maintain crits. And the crits actually maintain a lot of DPS. So let's get to it. Contractor Sniper Rifle. Very good, has 20 bullets, very ammo efficient, and away you go. Put a silencer on. This allows us to use Professional Basic to allow us to quickscope better. Concealment, Compact Laser, Skeleton Grip because we want the concealment. Whatever sight with -1 concealment. I know there's a -2, so we're careful for that. Or, if you want to save some concealment, you can get this fancy Cartel mod optics pack and save yourself some concealment, but I like this sight. It's probably the best looking sight amongst them all. Folding stock. So, how do you deal with dozers? Because now you can punch through shields, so what's your utility? Well, in case a dozer gets close, you get this Ahega looking SMG. This one's probably all-round better. I'll suggest a second one in a moment. So, short barrel for more concealment, because there's a lot there. You don't need a lot of accuracy, because this is meant for close-range encounters. So, I put a small suppressor, because I don't have enough for that concealment for the, you know, all the perfect crits. Otherwise, I would. Concealment boost, auto fire for all that lovely stability, compact laser, speed mag, and specular sight again. An alternative, if we don't want to save more ammo, I can recommend a Tatanka submachine gun, and I'll go over the mods for that as well. So if you want to save more ammo, however it's a lower rate of fire and less stability, and a slower reload, we mod it like so. And you can maintain your crits, and you can still have a very fast, effective dozer melting machine. Again, to whatever guns. I don't recommend Krinkov because it's a little too fast for a 23 detection setup. So I found the best balance to be the CR805. Again, builds are like waifus. They're all trash. Don't worry about it. Moving on. Inspire again. 2 jokers for Anarchist. Anarchist is again really good. Oh, somebody did mention in the chat. This is the only time I'll read chat. Why a laser? Why a laser? Totally forgot. Because it's like, hey streamer, why can't you just add concealment? Well, if you look at this, not only this is blocking your view, but there's a lot of times I cannot stress the fact that having a laser, where is it? I'm just gonna have to edit. Hip firing stuff in the face has saved me in the past because what if some enemy comes whipping around the corner so freaking fast and you need to stagger them? Well, trust me, you won't have time to right click, left click. Just hit fire. Use your laser like you would on any other gun and just get it. Or you can just get a crosshair mod. Yeah, I see you, chat. The only time I'm looking at chat, by the way. So, this has saved me multiple times in many runs. Otherwise, yes, you can opt for less concealment, whatever. Builds are like waifus, I'll say it time and time again. So, Contractor Sniper Rifle, I went right side grays. I'll explain very quickly because why marksman? Why not ammo efficiency if you ace stable shot? Well, the 20% accuracy plus 8%, Contractor is not that very accurate. If you hit the 76 or 80 accuracy and have marksman aced, as long as your sight is on a where are we? Yes. As long as your sight is on a target, you will never miss. I have tested this in enemy spawner at maximum distance. I've never missed anything. So as long as you're hitting 76 or 80% with marksman ace, you should be okay. It's not 100%. I do believe in 100% accurate sniper rifles. I get it. I totally get it. Aggressive reload, that's obviously a must. And graze, because that's what snipers do best. Die Hard Bullseye. Now, why do you have Bullseye on a sniper build? Like I said earlier, that laser is AB. If you shoot an enemy, Lust for Life will proc because the Anarchist damage will give you armor. And if that was a body, leg, or arm, whatever shot, not a head, you'll gain that armor. And I bet you within 1.5 seconds, you should be able to hit them in the head. And this also affects dozers too with your submachine gun. You gotta melt the faceplates, but it still does damage. So, by the time you melt the faceplates off with a super fast submachine gun, now you can start hitting the bullseyes to armor gate yourself again in case you get hit in that blink of a second. It has saved me multiple times in the past. I still recommend putting bullseye on a sniper build. I know it's redundant, but you know what? Everybody plays different. You guys heard that many times. Okay, cool, moving on. Hardware expert, steady grip, more accuracy for not only the sniper, but for the SMG. Keep that in mind. Duck and cover inner pockets. Inner pockets allows more attachments. That's why I was able to play with stuff. I load up this tree. Now, a lot of people are like, why do you run optical illusions on your Anarchist build or stuff like that? Any build with jokers is okay. I know I mentioned earlier with the whole rogue, you are 15% less likely targeted next to your team. Well, this is less targeted by enemies. So there's a big difference in where if you have jokers or not, it will save the heat off of yourself and your team. And I know this is going to cause a huge discussion. If you want to argue it, cool, whatever, that's fine. I'm cool, again, I'm down for CNC. I'm an adult, I love discussions, I love fixing and optimizing, that's what we're all here for. Moving on, high value target for sniping is still very important. This allows you to identify all the heavy problems such as taser, medics, shields, all the big boys that you need to take care of, or far away snipers so they don't dominate you, because you gotta assert dominance. When you hit a shield, it'll do the Gray's max damage 480 HP. That will also create a stagger effect amongst any heavies or kill any light swads around it. So all you gotta do is hit the heavy one more time. Which is why I don't run this with a Berserker setup, and I'll explain more into Berserker in a bit. With the added Unseen Strike crit, you can get hit, because you're getting hit with Anarchist all the time. You may as well use it, trust me. It'll make you do a lot more crits, and more crits with Sniper, that will pass, obviously, the damage breakpoint. And like I said with Professional, back at the silencer part, you actually gain 100% snap to zoom, meaning ADS, with silenced weapons. I have tried Rifleman in the past. This has got me killed, because your snap to zoom, same thing, but it's with all weapons. However, your movement speed is unhindered while using Steel Sight. So if you're popping around a corner and if you go too fast, you might expose more enemies when you are quote-unquote carving the pie around the corner. Because instead of targeting one Zeal unit that could be waiting to ambush you, what if there's 3 more because you overextended your shot? Or you could easily lead to missing. It's my recommendation. If people like this on, I don't. I think it's a very bad thing. Just like second one days, please don't use it. And so on and so forth. This just allows more stability for your SMG and a lot easier quick scoping. And of course, like I said, Unseen Strike. 9 lives. So, Berserker. Why don't you run Berserker on a lot of your Anarchist builds, Kev? Your Shotgun, your LMG, your Sniper. Well, I favor crits, and I favor good damage. I favor consistent damage despite crits being random. Whatever. Here's the thing. To do Berserker, you might need another utility-based setup. And that could recall using Molotovs, a grenade launcher, or an HE-based judge to set it up. Or if you go down once, you can have that extra damage. But here's the thing. What if you never go down? What if you have better weapons to deal with actual specials? And the best part is, if you get sniped, you have all this HP pool, plus Partners in Crime Ace, just to take that hit. Because snipers are unbelievable bullshit with Anarchist setups. It's frustrating, it's annoying, and every time I ran Berserker in the past, it's just giving me grief. There are good Berserker setups with Anarchist and Armor, which we'll go over later. And even for solo play, I think Berserker is great. But for general use public builds, please don't rely on it. Please don't try and force yourself. I've seen one of my good friends, whose name will not be known, that has blown himself up. I've blown myself up setting up Berserker. Shit happens. And there's a lot of lag in this game. Do you really want one of those tick timers to blow yourself up? No. Crits are very strong in DSOD, and that's why I favor Unseen Strike, especially high value target with sniping, because it graze and stagger. It just makes sense. But again, like I said, builds are waifus. Yours is trash. You can play it differently. Whatever. Main thing is however you want to play and however you want to learn, Try these out. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's okay. As long as you're trying something better than Rogue, please. So, the Contractor has a problem. It doesn't do enough damage to one hit a heavy, so I do have an alternate sniper build. It's called Sniper 255, and this brings in our lovely Rattlesnake. Ah, yes. So, I modded it like so. Long barrel. I want that 100 accuracy, actually, because I'll explain why in a bit. Don't put a silencer on, because we need 255 damage for the heavy SWAT Zeal unit damage breakpoint, so we can ensure we get the one shot. Total ammo boost, because I'm not worried about concealment. Again, similar to the LMG build, so we don't give a shit about crits. But we do have crits on this build, by the way. Lead combo, because I think it's the better compact suppressor. Whatever sight you think is best. And that sweet, sexy aluminum body. Okay, secondary. We don't have to go silencers this time because it'll be slower quick scoping based on not having silencers for professional. However, we try to want to get as close as, 100 stability and, of course, all that accuracy so we don't miss a lot of our shots, dozers, close range. Whatever skin, I like to go for tactical compensator. 100 accuracy. Or, not 100 accuracy boost. I saw the 100 stability. My brain's going crazy. Auto fire, scope mounts, Moscow rail, lead combo, AK wood grip, speed pull, whatever sight tickles you. And, of course, the classic stock, because that just looks, that's shiny. Shiny. Same setup with all my Anarchist setups. The usual. Now, the only thing you see different is that I don't have Marksman Ace. And that's because the sniper itself 100% accuracy. So I don't have to worry about it. So I don't give a shit. So we're going to spend those points for ammo efficiency. And believe me, this is very ammo efficient if you can continuously hit heads. Very. People can run this with a 500 damage sniper setup. Or, if you don't want to do an Anarchist crit setup, this sniper, again, could be used because this build is very point efficient, I found out. You can even opt out for ammo efficiency, and you could still have those points elsewhere, even for hostage taker for non-Anarchist setups. So moving on. Normal stuff that I do for Anarchist, diehard, bullseye, I even had transporter for this, because again, I had a lot of points. It's the benefit with Anarchists. Drill points, steady grip. I think you need that? Yeah, you need that. Otherwise you're 92. So you do need that. Unseen strike. So if I get hit, I can just reload, wait the 4 seconds, melt a dozer, or do some serious damage. High value target because that's good for sniping, and I have Optical Illusions Ace just to get up there. I didn't need Professional because we're not benefiting anything, and since we have Jokers with Optical Illusions, I think it's fair to put it on there, just to reduce heat off of you and your team. And here we go, 9 lives again. So, I do like snipers, and I do have an armor build. And I'm not the greatest with armor because I'm not very passive. But I play a lot of crew chief, so Kev, how are you making sense? Well, this is what I'd recommend. A different contractor setup because we have, of course, the silencer. Total ammo this time because I don't care about concealment. And I'll explain why because of the ICTV. Lead combo because it's a better, superior laser. Rubber grip. Whatever sight. I go for a solar sight, a bigger sight, or stuff like this. 2-piece stock, because we want a bit of stability, and of course, that 80 accuracy as much as you can, and it just looks nicer with the stock. Just that nice frenzy skin. Secondary, well, we've seen this blue SMG before, but we will go over it again. I want to maintain the 100 stability. I'm not going to talk through this. Holy shit, I'm on fire. Oh boy. So, why armor? The only thing that's changed really is that ice pick, because I do use Berserker on this, in case my team's not playing Hacker or if I want to do some serious damage. However, the Contractor cannot break the points of heavy Zeal shots with one hit in the head without that added damage boost. So when I get there, I'll explain. So we got Inspire. Unfortunately, with ICTV armor setups, we don't have a lot of points for Jokers if we want to maintain our damage. So, unfortunately, we're not running Jokers in this build. Right side grays, you don't need ammo efficiency, the Contractor's very ammo efficient, yet again. your standard ICTV setup for armor or crew chief setup, scavenger, drill point, some accuracy for your SMG and your primary, parkour for the heavy armor setups. I run high value target, and since we're not running jokers, we don't need optical illusions, and I like that quick scope. This has helped me identify snipers and any special targets that need to be dead, because shield DPS is crazy. 9 lives, and the only setup I will run with Berserker. Disclaimer. How do you go ahead and lower your HP without a second utility, without that concussion grenade or that Krinkov SMG that you have, Kev? The answer is self-BLM. Since I run a lot of jokers on my setup, typically you like to clear the area, hit the guy at the leg, and dominate the cop. Well, you do it backwards, actually. And I do have excellent clips that will provide below in the guide how to do it. You simply find a BLM buddy, or a heavy Zeal SWAT unit because it deals 225 damage. What's 225 minus 230? Well, that's 5, isn't it? Hey, this isn't first grade math class. So, if you actually isolate a Zeal unit, let him hit your armor twice, you'll hit that 2-second invulnerability, but he's still shooting at you because of the way graze from enemy fire works, so your armor will never regenerate until you go into cover or he loses aggro. So when you take that third hit, you'll get hit instantly and you will flash red. Once you see that flash, you click, and I will assure you he will die every single time because you have all this Berserker damage. Regardless of what he does to you, you will have that BLM. It might take a bit of practice to set up, however, this is the best way to self-sustain damage, and with armor, you can consistently take 2 hits as opposed to Anarchist setups, where you constantly need that armor and constantly need doing damage. So if you want a passive playstyle with big damage and big numbers, I recommend doing this kind of an armor setup. Unfortunately, I don't have enough points for Bloodthirst Ace, but Jesus Christ, we got aggressive reload, so who the fuck cares? So, that's a wrap for the public builds. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you run Crime Spree or Stealth or Solo? Well, I don't run a lot of Crime Spree. I'm not a fan of it. It's just running fire and objectives and a saw or piglet launcher with fire. Go to Uncle's channel. He's amazing. Uncle Gigel. I will link him into the guide because I don't do Crime Spree. I'm not an expert on it. Just, it's not my thing. Whatever. I've maintained maximum difficulties because there's a lot of achievements that people want to get. So that's why we're here to help you. And obviously this is coming with the next update because they keep coming. We got to make sure you guys are DSOD ready. So, I do have a stealth and a solo build because I do stealth and solo builds. Oh, how cute and wonderful. Since we're still in loud territory, I'll go over my solo build. Typically, I run this with trip mines and C4. Sometimes I take it off if I want to show off or do my own thing. So, I like to snipe, if you haven't already heard. And of course it's Anarchist because I like a bit of difficulty and I like being aggressive. Sweet! It's the same sniper I use in my public build, but I'll go over it again. All this fancy concealment and, stuff. And I do have a different submachine gun because I love that shiny color. It's probably the same one that I used before, but I like the Krinkov because I can actually afford stability in this setup because in solo builds, you don't need Inspire or 9 lives. Or do you? Bigger, better suppressor. And this skin has an accuracy modifier, so if you're running low on Continental coins, there you go. Just cheering in the chat. Is my Streamlabs broken? I go, thanks for the cheer, man. Hey, that gray kind of matches. That's cool. That's cool. Well, he's in the build video, so if anybody wants to sub, just saying. Maybe I should have been a sellout earlier. Okay. Stability. You don't want the less concealment part. Lead combo for more stability. Hanky rubber grip, speed mag, whatever sight tickles you. And of course, wide stock, all this fun stuff. So, what do I run on my solo build? So I'm going to jump straight to Frenzy actually, because Frenzy aced. This allows you to tank a little bit longer with Anarchist. So it allows you to, because all damage taken is reduced by 25%, meaning a Zeal heavy unit does less than 200 damage now. So that's good. That means your armor can stay up without triggering that 2-second invulnerability protection. The way I BLM myself to not like a heavy SWAT unit shooting me, if I have absolutely no armor, I can blow myself up with a C4. That should get me around the 90% range. I don't have an example video of this. Maybe I will later. No biggie. The second way to do it is, again, shoutouts to Fusion, the one and only. Very excellent guy, very great solo Anarchist player, and does a lot of sniping. Has helped me with my Hell's Island, which I will be providing as an example, smiley face. Another way to BLM yourself is, if you have a Joker, which I do have in this build, Partners in Crime Days again, if you get hit with a lightweight while your armor's gone and you have a Joker, you can get down to 96% Berserker. Pretty sweet. And I do have an example of that in that solo Hell's Island build. So, enough blabbering on. Let's just get to it, Kevin. Give me the points because I want to be spoon-fed the build. Here you go. No Inspire because this is solo. Double Jokers, right side Graves for Contractor. Die Hard for Objectives. Bullseye for saving my ass. The usual. I don't have drill skills, but unfortunately what I may be able to do is move some points accordingly if I need to based on the heist. Not that big of a deal. Maybe go down to one Joker. Again, I don't do a lot of solos. I feel like the core part of the game is definitely pubs, because 4-player, that's, well, because shit happens, you're probably going to die, so that's why you need a res or some bots, whatever. So I don't run a lot of drill skills on this. Going on, a lot of points here. I have a lot of concealment options thanks to Optical Illusions Ace, so I can provide more attachments. All the crits, high value target, and like I said, all the damage I'm doing here. So that's my solo setup. If I want to go pure solo, if I were to go with bots, I'd probably take one of my public builds anyway, so I can inspire them because they die too, or Dr. Bags, that kind of thing. All to their own, whatever. And here's a dirty little secret from KevKild's. Despite me being a DS junkie, like I said, an hour ago into the video, can't believe it's an hour long already, I do like stealth. Look at them Kazuna eyes stare into your soul. I'm not an ECM rusher, no. And I actually enjoy stealth of this game, and I think it's a very good component of Payday 2. And a lot of players actually enjoy it. I think it's well done. There's a lot of variety into heisting, and it's a lot of its core user base. So I'm going to make sure that there's a stealth build, and I only run one stealth build and one only. I do rotate the weapons and equipment however I feel like, but this is generally how I run it as. Perk deck. There's 3 different perk decks you could probably run it as. One is Burglar. I think Burglar's better on Loud, by the way. Not a joke. But you can use it for solo play, but I don't recommend it because just in case there's a fuck up, or if you need to pocket a body or pocket a camera, you can hit that ECM, and since you're not loud, it acts like a 6-second normal ECM. It even blocks pagers. It's even better than an upgraded ECM or a base ECM, whatever. It's really well done. So with that being said, I totally recommend Hacker. The third and last one's Yakuza, if you want to throw a Molotov and damage yourself. There's not a lot of great places to do that in, and you could alert some guards. It's not overall a good time. Stuff I like to run is trip mines with upgraded, or body bags, or vice versa, depending on if I need to kill more civs, clean up some stuff, or need to run ECMs for special doors, or if we need an ECM chain, I'll go over it all in a bit. So, what's this fancy World War II rifle here? Shoutouts to the gaming nub who said, hey, if you want something with high accuracy, this is it. Otherwise, I would recommend any other rifle or shotgun with a high concealment factor. And as you can see here, Gallant rifle, pretty good. I even have an Ishma shotgun, Raven shotgun, Car 4 at 32, Amcar, AK, and the best, Cavity 9 millimeter silence. Now the way I have this one modded is with a laser. You could opt for the 45-degree angle sight for more concealment, but again, there you go. I like this one because it has the most accuracy. Otherwise, if you want the best of all worlds, I would just recommend a Car 4 or an AK. The most popular one's Cavity, but this one's pretty good. So let's go over the mods. Whatever shit color you want, so we went with some crazy piss yellow, because it stands out, looks kind of cool. Concealment barrel thingy, bigger better suppressor for that lovely 100 accuracy. Concealment, we don't need that. Laser. Here's that sight, that gives you a red dot without blowing your concealment. Cartel mod optics, pretty good. And of course mag pouch, just in case I want to shoot the gun, because the sound clinking noise is just too good. Every stealth build I run, unfortunately, is the Judge Shotgun, and yes, a very, very cursed skin for those innocent eyes that need to grow up. But that's alright. So, triple buckshot, silent killer suppressor, concealment, and whatever else tickles you fancy. I don't even care about a laser on this one. But yeah. Look at those weird faces. Wonder why those faces are so weird. Huh. We will never know, chat. So on to the build. Force friendship, confidence, stock hold. This is good for like bank heists or diamond stores, so you can maintain those civvies so they stay the fuck down. Just like Russ says, stay the fuck down. And of course more zip ties is always nice. This is an all-purpose build, again. Play it how you want. Transporter, I don't go for transporter ace. I know some people do like anarchist setups so they can move bags really fast, but none of my forte. Portable saw with extra lead. But Kev, there was no saw build. Well, guess what you can do? You can take a silent saw, so add a concealment boost, silent motor with a sharp blade. Your detection will go up a little bit, not a big deal. However, with portable saw aced, you can one tap lock pick boxes if you have this thing aced, and one of the damaging components. Whether that's a fast motor for more damage, which I do not recommend in stealth, unless you're doing go bank for crowd control. Sharp blade and a soft motor makes life good. Could be used in big bank. Could be used in any other normal bank heist. San Martini is always fishy, but you guys get the idea. So anyways, back to the rifle. And of course, like I said, extra lead for those extra ammo bags in case you want to swap them. There you go. You got one ammo bag because of Jack of all trades. I'll explain that in just a moment. Which is right here. So you can have a secondary deployable, but it only goes in half. So if you need lots of something, make sure it's in the primary slot. Otherwise, this is how you get two utilities. Lots of trip mines. I don't think you need auto starter skills. Totally. So I just go for basic drill skills. If somebody brings them, somebody brings them. I like lock and load A's because just in case I need to run to a guard that has a cell phone out, or if I'm trying to kill the guards outside of Scarface Mansion, this is kind of handy. It's kind of nice. Fire control for that judge, just in case I need a snipe shot. Otherwise, the Gallant will do just fine. Load up this tree. Again, I'm not even going to go over it. This is pretty much fundamentally standard for all stealth builds. Parkour. Even though you don't have heavy armor, you could opt for this and move this elsewhere. Not a big deal. Inner pockets for concealment. Optical illusions Ace for more concealment. High value target. Why high value target? Well, if you ping something, the duration of them is ping much longer. Meaning, they'll stay red, a darker red, for a much extended period of time. And with trip mines, they can take that high value target. Or if you want to play with the cameras, because you're looking at loot screens, there you go. High value target is very good for stealth builds. And of course, you're not going to die, just reset the mission if you fuck up. So, I know I've been blabbing lots. I know a lot of people in chat right now are probably going, where's the gameplay? That goes for all my builds that I will be updating as a guide. As of now. So recapping what I said, I do a lot of DSOD. I do a lot of practicing with it. I'm okay with changing some of my builds. I know this video is going to be out of date, because if I'm going to change something or need to add something, whatever. That's my core fundamental gameplay type of person. I like to be aggressive, I like to push, XYZ. And I say as a joke, builds are like waifus, yours are trash, mine are trash. However, we all have our favorite build, we all have our favorite waifu. Everybody plays differently, it's not a big deal. Again, I'm an adult. If you want to say my build sucks, go ahead. My build sucks. Yours is better. Totally fine. Sure. But I know I have received some good comments saying that it has helped them steer a different direction than relying on rogue, terrible RNG, or just bad playstyles. So if you're an aggressive person like me, you can definitely make some things work. And if you play passively, it might even work better, such as that armor build or crew chief per se. So yeah, unfortunately there's no gameplay in this type of video. There's a lot to cover. I will be taking all these fancy links, providing examples, stuff like that, and providing descriptions and all that fun stuff. Holy shit, that was a lot of talking. Appreciate you watching, and cool.